All right, I just figured that out because the mic was not working. So there was a mute button once you put the picture up. Let me go again. Here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so I think I figured that part out, which opens up all kinds of new possibilities for us. Which means that I can put images up on the screen, that I can put videos up on the screen during the morning news broadcast. As I just found out, I can either mute them or not mute them. So, wow, I just realized I have a really big forehead. Man, this is tough stuff. I got to work on this. So, like I said, good morning. A few things to go over. The first is I sent out an email last night to all of the students. Mrs. Murphy, who is our IT director, set up something so that I can email all of you. So what I'd like you to do is start checking your email on a daily basis. One, because you're going to be getting some messages from me, but more importantly, that is how we're going to start tracking attendance. Every morning you should get an email that brings you to a form where you should just mark that you're present. I think, it has your name and you just check in so that we can see whether or not you attended that specific day. If, and this is the important part, I don't need emails from everybody, but if you did not or are not receiving that morning email, I'm reading the comments, that morning email for attendance, send me an email. And that way I can kind of figure out why you're not getting it. I can talk to Mrs. Murphy just to make sure that everybody is getting it. So right after this is over, please go to your email, check, and mark that you're here. We're going to start really keeping track and entering into PowerSchool. We just wanted to give everybody the opportunity to get the emails before we started marking people absent. Another question that we've been getting a lot, thanks to Mrs. Sullivan for bringing this to my attention, Mr. Gagney too. A lot of you are confused about the Google Meet part of our e-learning. So the way that's going to work is, please don't stress out about it. It's more that some of your teachers might invite you to participate in a Google Meet. They might do a whole class, but more than likely they'll probably do small group check-ins. For example, my son yesterday had a check-in with his history teacher. There were only 4 or 5 students. The history teacher broke it down so that he could just, actually it was a she could check in with them, see how they're doing, almost like, if you were meeting at your table in your classroom, the teacher would come over and check in on everybody. It'll be more like that. Don't worry, it's going to be really hard to miss one of these. I know there's a lot of worry about that. What'll happen is your teacher will either invite you or, through an invite, or put it into the Google Classroom. It's not going to be on a daily basis. And the other thing to think about is everything is going to be recorded. So if there's something that happens that you can't participate in, the timing's wrong, you can't get onto the computer at that point, don't worry about it. It'll be recorded and either sent to you or it'll be in your Google Classroom. So don't worry about the Google Meet. It'll become obvious. I know it's a little bit scary because it's new, but what'll happen is it'll be smooth. Your teacher will send you an invite. If you don't get an invite, it's more than likely that your teacher's just not doing that yet. Not all teachers will be doing it right off the bat. Some teachers might not do it at all. It's going to be what works best for the teachers and what our teachers are comfortable with. The other thing I wanted to remind you about is, believe it or not, Q3 closes tomorrow. We don't have school next week, but once we get back, our teachers are going to start working on putting their grades into PowerSchool, finalizing them for report cards. So that means if you are behind, if there's work you need to catch up on, if your teachers have reached out to you to tell you that you need to hand this in, you might have to do a little bit of work over the vacation next week, because you can still hand things in. Your teachers will be waiting for it. I wouldn't wait too far into that next week because, like I said, your teachers have to add everything in and get it finalized so that me and Mrs. Gates and Mrs. Sadlowski can go in on Tuesday, which I believe No, I think it's Monday the 20th. We'll be going in to print all the report cards, put them in envelopes, and send them home. Good morning, Miss ODP. I hope you're doing okay. I'm looking at the comments. Last piece. Well, actually, I have two more quick ones. So now that we can put in photos and videos, I want some ideas because I'm getting tired of doing the morning news all by myself. Like I said, looking at my big forehead on the screen. So if you have an idea, what kind of things can you guys either record or take pictures of? I'd love to share them on the morning news. If you have any ideas, maybe we can come up with a theme, maybe, something like what I did over my April vacation in my house. If you keep the videos to like under a minute, I think we can do some cool things with it. So if you have any ideas, send me an email. Put them in the comments. I want to kind of, now that I'm figuring out this broadcast software, spice it up a little bit. And I think that's it. I'll give you a Nerf War update. I'm really bad at Nerf Wars. We've been having Nerf Wars in our backyard. I think we've had about 10 battles between me and my two boys, and I have not won. I haven't won one of them. I get shot with the Nerf guns a lot. So one of the themes I think you're noticing is I'm figuring out that I'm bad at a lot of things, but I'm going to keep practicing. We're going to, talk about that perseverance and persistence. I have a lot of time to practice these things. So hopefully by the end of this Coronacation, I am going to be better at Nerf Wars and maybe Star Wars Battlefront 2 because I'm still pretty bad at that. So I have my goals set, and I think they're pretty clear and they're pretty important. So with that, I am going to say goodbye. Have a thrilling Thursday. I miss you guys. Hope you're doing okay, and we will talk again tomorrow. Have a great one.